Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved, the Windows version, early access of the Windows version of the popular cell phone game. Today is a pretty special episode because, with all luck, it is going to be the last zombie plague we have to do to unlock a gene. All we need is one more victory on casual, and then we'll have all of those genes unlocked, and then we only have to worry about the simian flu. So I've got to think up a zombie name real fast, and let's see. We're not gonna call it zombabies. Let's see. How can I do zombie and teenagers? Let's see. Zombies and teenagers. Let's call it the zombie club. Let's see, am I even spelling zombie right? No. Zombie. The Zombie Club is the name of this plague. Reference to The Breakfast Club, which was a movie that was supposed to have a bunch of teenagers in it, but frankly, a lot of them looked like they were in their early 20s when, as far as the actors. Let's see. Where do we want to start? Let's just start in America. It was an American movie, so we'll start in America. The zombie club begins in the USA. See, I think you could probably convince a lot of people to become zombies if you made it a cool, trendy club that was exclusive. Get a lot of people in there before you would have enough of a glut of zombies that you could run out there and what am I saying? And just overwhelm the rest of the world with zombies. The problem with the zombie disease, as far as if there was an actual disease that was completely like zombies, there are some diseases that are somewhat like zombies, like rabies and several parasites that take over host organisms' bodies. But the main problem is that there's nothing keeping the population in check until it just becomes a total catastrophe where there's just so many zombies and no more food to eat, no more, well, food, humans to eat or infect, and then everything would just die out. And that's what happens at the end of every zombie scenario is we turn everybody into zombies, and then a year later they would have all starved to death and died. There would need to be some, assuming zombieism was like a virus, there would need to be a competing virus that ate the zombieism. Either a competing virus or a cure that just managed to keep it in check, but a cure that would only work, I suppose, half the time. You don't hear a lot about it or think about it that much, but in the United States, in most countries, they only give the general population cures unless they're close to 100% effective. But there are definitely treatments and things and medicines that are 50% effective, and there could certainly be a treatment for zombieism that was 50% effective so that half the people got it and it worked for them and half the other people got it and it didn't work for them. There's often scenarios when people have chemotherapy, I suppose, in a lot of ways is not the most effective things, and it's very destructive on the human body in other ways. So only the fact that somebody has cancer, which is a horrible situation, does it become worth it to do chemotherapy. We wouldn't ever say every single person should have chemotherapy just in case they had cancer. Whereas we will give people flu shots and immunizations to diseases because those have close to no side effects for most people and are very effective. Even if something was only 50% effective, if it doesn't have any real negative side effects, it still might be worth it to recommend that the general population gets those immunizations. And that is where our medical bodies come in, and they debate that quite a lot, and they do studies and surveys, and usually it starts with a small survey of a few people, and then it becomes a medium survey, and then a large survey, and often it can take way too long to actually determine that something's useful. Let's see. Let's get that antibiotic resistance in there. They're gonna start working on the cure pretty fast. How much do I need? 10? And then there is definitely this interesting thing of medical tourism, as it's called, for many reasons. A lot of things take forever in countries like the United States. Let's just pause. I'm not gonna miss all these wonderful biohazard bubbles. Treatments in the United States can be expensive, they can be slow to be available because of our perhaps sometimes over cautious safety procedures, but then, you know, some might argue that they're not cautious enough. It seems it's all kind of a little too random, and gets to the point where science is less science and more observation. Well, observation is part of science. It's more gambling, I would say. So, for a lot of things, like a heart transplant, be millions of dollars in the United States, but you can go over to India and pay a licensed doctor in India to do a heart transplant and pay just a few $1,000s. And of course, your insurance won't pay if you go to India, but you'll be paying a percentage of those millions and millions, even if you have very good insurance in the United States. And it's often cheaper to just fly to India, buy the ticket, pay for that, fly to India, and get a heart transplant there. There are also several treatments that are available in like India or the UK that just aren't FDA approved yet. And it certainly is something that you would have to research. It's a very weird situation. You would think we would have the best and the brightest. Let's see, what do I want to increase? I want to increase transmission, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of all of this in there. The United States medical system is a horrible mess. It's just terrible. And like a lot of systems in the United States, I think the best solution is to just throw all the rules out the window and do it. Here's the real solution to the United States. You could do it as a president of the United States in less than your term, one term of being president. What you do is you immediately enact a draft on all medical professionals and enlist them into the military, and you confiscate all medical facilities as government property under eminent domain, a federal eminent domain that would probably be challenged in the courts, but it'd still be worth a try. Uh, and then honestly, I don't know if you can't draft corporations. Really, if you're gonna say corporations are people, why can't you draft them? Make every single one of those corporations that runs hospitals right now, make them be uh, part of the military. So you just by force of the military take over all healthcare services, and right then and there you have control of everything, every single aspect of it, instead of working with people who don't really want to work with you and don't want the prices to go down, and will make a whole bunch of red tape and a whole bunch of BS, and that's all the medical system in the United States is. It's red tape, BS, overcharging, lies, just straight lies on bills. It really is. People just charge you for things they didn't do. They charge you 5 times for what things don't do, and this isn't just me ranting. You can ask anybody that's ever dealt with any medical bills and really looked at it, that they'll all tell you the same in the United States. So once you have control of that, you can start overhauling that system and really overhauling it. So you're going to have to put a lot of your military budget right then and there into making the system. And oh, by the way, since you're overhauling that, you could integrate the Veterans Affairs Office and get that to work well too. Huh. So we have everybody infected, but nobody's turning into a zombie. So this is interesting. If we dance around this and see if we can just kill all the people without ever turning them into a zombie. I don't think I've ever pulled this off as an episode. The cure is too far along to be doing this. I need to bring out zombieism, and I'm not anywhere close to it. 16 DNA. Yeah, they're too focused on the cure. I'm gonna lose if I'm not careful. Yeah, and so then you just start with a new system, and you fix it that way. Right there. The real problem of a lot of things in the United States are the people. The people are the problem. People that want to just rip off other people. And so when you control those people, when you take them out of the system, if you can draft a corporation and then just fire the CEOs and or set them on I mean, you don't even have to fire them. You just set them on like a military pay grade, and they would be making so much less than what they're stealing, basically, legally stealing from the patients, that the money would show up on the books all of a sudden out of nowhere, because it's all going into the CEOs and the board's pocket. Man, I have messed this up. What can I do? What can I do? I need 15 DNA. How can I get 15 DNA? It would cost anything to devolve anything. I can shuffle. Should I shuffle? I gotta shuffle. Shuffle didn't even work. Wow. This is no good. This is no good. I played poorly. The cure is complete. No. Come on, I need one more DNA. If I hadn't shuffled, I would have been there. Come on, give me one more bubble. Maybe we can still win this. Maybe we can still win this. One more bubble. That's all it takes. Come on, come on. There we go. Quick. Zombie plague began. So can we solve this? 14 DNA for the next thing. I have 500,000, almost a million zombies. There we go. So can we fight back from near cure here? We're spread out wide enough. It's working, but will it really work? Let's go ahead and speed this up and see if this is gonna work. Zombie club is turning people into zombies. But and if you called it the zombie club, people probably would not even bat an eye. They wouldn't even think for a second that it was really turning people into zombies. Let's see. So we got ZCOM starting. ZCOM is going to be our problematic thing. Is the thing that's going to give us trouble. So I can do some zombie abilities. What do I need? Probably 10 to just stop them from decaying. Just try and prevent the decay. So I won't get back to the rant, but that's, as a president, how you solve our medical issue right there. You just socialize it, which is what it is. You draft all those corporations, all those quote-unquote people into the military, and you start from there. You'll have a better system by far by the time your first term is over. Just the major improvements you could do, just getting rid of the conflicting interests. That's all it is. It's just the conflicting interests. How do you fix it even more? You could have the medical schools become partially socialized, or you don't even really have to do that step. You can just give out federal loans that would be forgiven to all doctors. So even current doctors, you can say, we know that you have these PhD degrees that have cost you millions of dollars because of these rip-off education system we have, which is another issue. We'll forgive those federal loans because they're almost all federal loans in the United States if you continue working for us at a lower pay, and they can definitely make a better deal for them. The only reason why doctors feel they need to be paid as much as they do, which most doctors don't even look at their paycheck, they don't care one bit. They just want to know that they are getting the most paid person in the office so that they can feel superior. But they do live extravagant lifestyles. A little too extravagant. But then they have a lot of debt. There we go! The zombie club and its zombies have consumed humanity. There's nothing left. I didn't realize that was gonna happen. So that took one rant in 782 days to destroy the world with the zombie club. We got to a complex disease. Cure progress got to 100%. We almost lost there. Barely made it. We were so close. That probably is reflected in the score of 8,280. We got the biohazards, but let's see. We got up to full infection. I would say, let's see. When did we get 100% infection? 500 days in. So it didn't take us anywhere as long to actually kill everybody with the zombies as it did just to get everybody infected. See, here's like, I'd say about 500 to 500 we had full infection, and then it was the cure and the zombies. Anyways, finally we've unlocked the last thing, which means today was definitely a special day. We no longer have any specific need to play the zombie plague. We we got dopamine inhibitor, increased the chance of a zombie victim becoming a zombie. Let's see. I probably would use that. Yeah, why not? So, next time we do the zombie plague, it's just gonna be, we're gonna try it on brutal, mega brutal once, and then I think that will be at the very end of the scenario of the series. Let's see. Next episode we'll be doing the simian flu, because we still have a lot of ones we need to unlock there. And then after the simian flu, we're going to go back and do the shut down everything scenario. We have enough scenarios here that we might have 1 or 2 scenarios still to do by the time we get all the simian flus. We're going to go back and forth between the simian flu and scenarios now. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you think my rant was stupid and it's a dumb plan, or if you think it's a great plan. As always, I ask you to like this video, share it, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, there's 2 ways you can do that. One is clicking on the name Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. That's where you can donate any amount you want. Any amount you do donate will be greatly appreciated and not wasted. I promise you that. Or you can click on the Amazon.com affiliate link in the description below and just shop normally. That works too. If you want to friend or favorite me on practically any social media, all that information is also down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.